And it's going to happen again and again. Has to happen.
Hey guys, this is the Dark Passenger, here to review Curse of Chucky. Basically this film is about a girl called Nika. She's in a wheelchair. She lives with her mother, and her mother receives a package, and it's a Chucky doll. She doesn't know where it came from, and she mysteriously dies. And then Nika, she calls her sister, her nephew, her niece, and her brother-in-law for the funeral. And they all end up staying in this house. And Alice finds the doll, and she starts carrying it around everywhere. It's basically like it was with Andy. And I guess he tells her his secret, but I don't know. That's basically what this film is about. I really enjoyed this film. I thought that it was great, and the best Chucky sequel in my opinion. This was directed by Don Mancini, the creator of Chucky. And it stars Fiona Dourif as Nika, and Brad Dourif is back again voicing Chucky. This review is going to have some spoilers, so if you haven't seen Curse of Chucky, then I suggest you turn off this review now. Just go watch Curse of Chucky, come back later, finish this review. This film has some pretty cool kills. I mean, I liked the kills when they happened. They happened maybe halfway through the film. There weren't that many, but my favorite kill in this movie, after Chucky reveals himself, is when he kills Nika's brother-in-law. He takes an axe, which Nika used against Chucky earlier, and basically chops the guy's jaw clean off. His bottom half is completely gone. That kill was pretty cool. I mean, I liked that kill. And he doesn't have his original look in this film. It's the scarred look, because there's a scene right before he kills Alice's mother, and in that scene Alice's mother peels off the skin, the paint on Chucky's face, and it reveals his scars, so you know that it's actually the scarred look in this film, not the original look. And the reason that Chucky was after this family 25 years ago, he was obsessed with Nika's mother, and she called the police on him, and that's basically how he ended up getting killed, and that led him to transfer his soul into the doll. There was a series of flashbacks explaining that, and I really liked that. I mean, it got more more into the origin of Charles Lee Ray, Chucky. I'm glad that it did that. And there is another scene in this film. This is basically after Chucky he kind of isolates Nika in her lift that she uses to get upstairs, and he slashes at her hands with his knife. It gets covered in blood. She takes it from him and tries to use that to defend herself. Then a little later on, a cop comes to the house. He hears her screaming for help. He breaks the door open. He goes in, he finds her there, sitting there in her elevator. Her hands covered in blood, then she's holding the knife, Chucky's knife, that's covered in blood, and he kind of thinks that she was the one that killed off her family. But she obviously explains that it was Chucky that did it, the doll. Because after she's arrested, she has a trial and she's committed to a mental hospital. She's sent to a mental hospital for the criminally insane. So obviously, they thought she was crazy. And there was all the kind of evidence laid out, the knife, the rat poison. You get the idea. And we have Tiffany in this film, and she basically is in the back seat of this cop's car. She slits his throat, then takes the Chucky doll, and she was basically using him to help her get the Chucky doll. She says she would pay him, just like the cop in Bride of Chucky, who ended up getting killed by her. Then she sends that doll to Alice, and from there, again, Chucky gets Alice to play that game with her, that game that he calls Hide the Soul. There's one thing that I don't understand when this film takes place. After Bride of Chucky, after Seed of Chucky, I'm confused about the timeline. But, it's either after Bride or Seed, because he's got his, scars, the scarred look. And, yeah, I don't really understand that. Hopefully it'll make more sense later on if I watch the film a couple more times. Overall, there are about 4 kills in this film. Not many at all. There are more in the previous films. But, I really like, the kills were brutal, they were kind of brutal. And that it was actually just like Child's Play 2, because the kills in Child's Play 2 were pretty brutal as well. Yeah. And it was gory, it was, Chucky back again. The scary Chucky, not that, ridiculous Chucky that was in Seed of Chucky, because in my opinion they never should have spoofed Chucky at all. And if that, if Curse of Chucky is a sequel to Seed of Chucky, if it comes after Seed of Chucky, I guess that would make sense, but I'm not too sure, like I said, which film it comes after. So yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say on Curse of Chucky. If you wanna check it out before it's out on DVD and Blu-ray, then it's on iTunes. Yeah, just check it out. And yeah, thanks for listening. Subscribe. Peace out.
Tonight's the night. And it's going to happen again and again. Has to happen.